Hello, it's Emma Jo here from Lavinia Stamps, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made this rather lovely card. I've called it the Wheel of Time.
No, I haven't. I've called it Race Against Time.
Anyway, enough jibber jabber. Come closer, let me show you.
A lovely, vibrant, DL-sized card, full of cogs and a rushing hare.
Now that you've seen it up close, come with me and let me show you how it's done.
Right, off we go with a DL piece of multifarious card, size 9 stencil brush and some Elements Ink Sundance. And I'm just taking a little bit of the ink off and then working it into circles because I just want touches of that colour. Now I'm adding some Mystical Mica Spray, Indian Sunset, just on the outside edges, and some Chestnut Bay. And I'm hurrying up that drying process with my heat tool. And because I'm impatient, I've sped it up. And if there's still excess that you want to blot off, then do. I've added some Mystical Mica Bumblebee there, just to fill in any gaps. There we go. And now I'm going to do some stamping. Now on this, I will try and stamp where I put the Elements ink rather than, no, it's only Mystical Micas I used, wasn't it? So it's just the Elements ink areas I will try and stamp on. And this is some of the cogs. I'm starting with the larger ones at the bottom because I sort of feel like they're the basey ones. And I'm trying to get it so they look like they're interlocking with each other. They're part of a grand machine, you know? You can obviously choose which cogs you want to use. I'm just using a mixture. So I've gone on to cog set 2 now. And I'm using Versafine Clair Nocturne. In fact, I am for all the stamping in this. Go to cog set. No, I haven't gone to cog set 1. This is the Whimsical Hare, the rushing Whimsical Hare in the stamp set. And I've got him jumping over the cogs. And this is the Tock stamp, which is the stopwatch. And I'm just popping that in the top right-hand corner at a bit of an angle so that it's interesting. And again, I've used Versafine Clair Nocturne. And this is the tick stamp. And again, in the other corner, at a bit of an angle so that it's interesting. That makes it sound like it's not interesting any other way, but you know what I mean. I don't mean it like that at all. It's just, for this composition, that's how I want it. And I'm adding some more cogs around it. Right, I'm adding some Posca colour now. Now, the eagle-eyed people, this is Posca Pen Gold that I'm just doing around the outsides of some of the cogs and bits of the clock. But the eagle-eyed people will have noticed that there's some text there. Now, I didn't like it, and I have covered it by the end. So I'm just going to show you how I covered it. It was all part of the plan, I promise. Anyway, so just ignore that's there. It's going to be covered by the end. So I've got my Posca pens and I've just used some white as highlights, and I've just used the pale pink for the ears of the hare, and we're going in with some yellow and oh, that's the glittery yellow. I love that, and it looks so good on these cogs. You can see it sparkling. It's fab. Doing some highlighting on the underside of the hare. And don't forget my favourite, dots. We're going to do a little bit of patterning around those dots now. So I've basically done a line around the first dot, and then I've done some dots around the line that's around the first dot. Honestly, it does make sense. Just making a nice, almost like a sunshine pattern now. Ooh, and a bit of my head. Sorry about that. Back in with that white pen, and I'm just going where there are dots, I'm dotting it. Just think that little bit of colour brings those stamps to life. I think I might have a paintbrush in my hair. I apologise, folks, for the distraction. So I'm just looking to the stamp to guide me as to where I'm going to add colour. So again, I'm going back with my white because obviously I fancied some more patterning. And what I'm doing is taking that circular shape that the cogs have and just bringing a slightly more organic circular shape around the hair that sort of hints at magic. So again, just using the red Posca pen to dot and add colour to where the cogs are sort of making me feel like there needs colour. Some of the time I've used it to accentuate just part of the outside edge of the cogs. Other times, if there's some detailing in the middle, then I'll have used a colour in the middle. And that's the larger one, you can see what I mean. Probably easier. Seriously, these are cracking stamps, these cogs. They're so detailed and they give you so many places to work with for colour. And because they're so small, you know, you can build them up into any shape you wanted to. Going back with my gold. Look at all that shimmer on there. In with the yellow. That's the one that's like a flower. And can you see as you're bringing the colour into those cogs, they start to have their own personality. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay. So that's an orange Posca, which is obviously needing to be replaced. Oh dear. And now we're going back with the white. Fab. So now moving on to text and glitter. So I'm adding in the Wheel of Time text. And now I've blocked out that other bit because I am going to get rid of it. Do you remember me saying? Just adding 3 dots at the beginning, 3 dots at the end. And a random dottage elsewhere. And I've got some lime green Stickles. Now, I believe their names might have changed slightly. And so the closest colour we've got to that now is Seafoam Stickles. but it's just, it gives a nice edge to gold and looks great with the reds and oranges that we've been using. Now, to be honest with you, you should really be doing this at the end, but somebody got hold of that Stickles and decided it was time. Just makes you work a little more carefully afterwards. So if you can, I'd keep working with your Stickles till the very end and not pay any attention to Emma Jo. Right, so what have I got here? This looks like my old favourite, Aqua Green. And I'm going to add some texture now. So this will be where that first text vanishes. So using Versafine Clair Nocturne and texture number 3, I think it is. Yep. I'm going to build up and cover areas that I didn't want and provide a bit of a frame. So I'm using Elements Ink Graphite here and just adding some depth to the sides. Well, making that frame go all the way round. And now adding final Posca accents, as if we haven't used Posca pens enough. Oh no, we're going back in with the Aqua Green Posca pen. And it just looks magical, don't you think? Or is that just me? Quite possibly just me. So I'm just adding dots and accents to bring things to life a little bit more. And I've just put some Posca pen over there and got some water on that paintbrush from Watercolour Paint Set 1, Paintbrush Set 1. Oh, goodness me. Tongue twister. And just smoothed it in a little bit so it's not so harsh. Watercolour Brush Set 1. There you go. There we go again. See, that's just got a little bit of water on it and I'm just moving that Posca around to where I wanted it to go. Fab. And you, my friends, you have done it. Well done.
Do you know what? It's always nice when you've got new stamps, new things to work with, new adventures to go on, new places to take your stamps to. And I thoroughly enjoyed the abstract nature of this. You know, what can you do with a whole load of cogs? Well, you can do so much. What can you do with clocks? And instead of going down the Alice in Wonderland route, I thought I'm going to go down the route of, yes, I've got a hare, but I'm going to take it on an adventure across this assault course of whirring cogs with time tick, 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 ticking above. I just loved it. And that fiery orangey yellow, I think, is just so dramatic. And yet that hare is the magic. That hare is what's spurring him on. And I think it's rather lovely. Full of glitter and blingage and rather lovely. So I hope you've had fun coming along and having a go with me. Thank you so much. If you've got any comments you'd like to make about this craft, please pop them in the post below and I will do my best to get back in touch with you as soon as I can. In the meantime, you take care and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.